Hey, my name is Mark Saranjoji. I am the Employer Brand Manager at Sender, and I'm here answering questions about what companies can do in terms of diversity and inclusion, and I'm doing it for Talent International. So, as a European of marginalized communities, I have experienced discriminative behavior and language throughout my life, including in the workplace. But on the bright side, I've also experienced people that believed in me, that pushed me forward, that gave me the benefit of the doubt. And I would love to use my privilege to ensure that that is the case for as many people as possible. I think that there are two sides of the story, and one is that you decide as a company that you want to be a place that employees feel is safe and supportive. Secondly, how do you listen to your employees? How do you establish what I consider to be like a listen, action, and trust loop? What that means is that you gather some feedback from employees, whether it is through surveys or interviews, and then based on those answers, you create action points that you can follow to improve whatever improvement areas that you have observed. And through acting, you show employees that you actually listen to them, and it helps establish trust. First off, I think it's important to have a good progress process for all employees first. When you have a process in place, you're able to set up measurements to see how people are moving internally in the organization and figuring out where are your improvement areas when it comes to ensuring fairness for all. Again, we go back to the listen, action, trust cycle of actually analyzing the data, making the necessary steps towards improvement, and actually building trust in the system, which hopefully also fosters a conversation of where you can recognize where you need to support some of the underrepresented groups better than you're already doing. I believe that when we talk about the senior management level, diverse representation is a choice. It is not something that's going to fall out of the sky. So we need to have senior management commit and decide to wanting to consider diversity as an aspect of how they set up and how they hire for that team. After that, they need to acknowledge what they know and what they don't know, and act by seeking out more information or seeking out the experts that can help them on the journey of making actionable commitments and measurements. Well, sometimes it is also to acknowledge that you cannot really avoid unfair bias, but it's a matter of how to limit it as much as possible. And it starts by understanding what unfair bias is, looking at your recruitment process, recognizing where it manifests itself in the recruitment process and what that looked like, and how you can adjust your process accordingly. So obviously first, educating your HR and talent acquisition team around unfair bias, what it looks like, all the different ways that it can manifest, their responsibility in it, and how they can be co-owners of making those changes. And secondly, talking with the hiring teams and the hiring managers, going through the same thing again about talking about unfair bias, how it manifests, what is their responsibility in it, and how can they be co-owners of driving changes. Here we also go into this loop of understanding and then taking action, also getting the feedback from your candidates as well as current employees in terms of how the candidate experience can be improved for everyone. Again, keeping in mind of how you're also collecting the voices of those who are underrepresented, who are not part of the empowered or majority of either your organization or the society that your organization is placed in. This can sometimes be helped even further by actually partnering with groups or organizations that represent or are made up by people of underrepresented or marginalized groups, whether they are external or internal.